welcome to yoga. Thanks for coming. Today, we're going to focus on our core, physical core, which also a strong core supports not only our physical bodies, but our mental, emotional, and spiritual, provides mental, emotional, and spiritual strength and helps attain our life goals. Okay, big deal. So we're going to start on our backs with knees bent. So it's called lying release. So just feet hip width apart, knees bent. Now, last time we did knees together, but your knees can be just hip width apart, straight up. And any arms that are comfortable, just relax your shoulders down into the mat. So really sink all of your body into the mat. So as we center, we are releasing tension and relaxing, and the shoulders are a place where it's pretty easy to carry tension. So close your eyes, and we're going to kind of do our centering along with a guided pranayama. So put your hands on your belly. We're going to do the 3-part breath, focusing on each part of the 3 parts separately and then sequentially. So start with your hands on your belly. Just relax your face, your jaw, your neck, as I said, your shoulders. Just consciously relax. Maybe take in a big inhale and then sigh it out. And now with your hands on your belly, just begin to inhale and exhale through your nose, feeling your belly rise. So just have your awareness be just on your belly as you inhale, noticing the belly rises at the beginning of the inhale, and notice how it falls at the end of the exhale. Gentle, slow, deep, even belly breaths. And also begin to notice what's happening in your spine as you breathe here. So as you inhale and your belly rises, notice that your lower spine arches up off the mat. And as you exhale and your belly falls, the lower spine moves back toward the mat. Don't make it happen, just notice that it happens naturally. And now move your hands to the bottom of your rib cage and continue to breathe. Slow, deep, even belly breaths. But now bring your attention especially to the rib cage and see that on the inhale, the rib cage expands, not just up, also to the sides and toward the mat. So, and as you exhale, it moves back inward and your spine comes down toward the mat all the way up. So a few more rounds, focusing on the middle of your core here, your rib cage. And then finally, bring your hands up to your clavicle, your collarbone, and let them rest there. And notice as you inhale, the clavicles rise slightly and spread out. Your chest broadens, and as you exhale, they move down. Just subtle movements, but having your hands rest on those areas gives you a felt sense, connects your mind and body to see what's happening. Now begin to just, you can take your hands away or leave them on your body wherever you like, but just begin to feel that sensation sequentially. So as you breathe, first as you begin the inhale, your awareness will be on your belly, and then continue up, noticing the spread of the rib cage all the way up to the clavicle. And then as you exhale from the top, keep your awareness from the top down. So belly up on the inhale, shoulder blades or clavicle down on the exhale. So just gentle awareness and kind of getting into your mind how the spine moves with the breath. And now just continue to breathe about 3-part belly breaths. Just slow, deep, even breaths, no effort or minimal effort, no struggle. And notice sensation in your body without judgment. And this is where if you notice a place that feel tense or tight, you can release with the breath. Notice where the flow of energy might be blocked. And use the exhale to release. But without judgment. Yoga is about seeing yourself as you are and keeping that in mind during your practice. And now that you've taken some time to see yourself, take a moment or two to create an intention for your practice, positive affirmation, something you'd like to take away from your practice today. And just repeat that intention a few times silently in your own mind and seal it into your heart space. And we're going to begin practice right here. So stay right where you are in the lying release pose. And relax your shoulders. And on an inhale, just take an inhale right here. And then raise your feet off the ground so your knees are over your hips. Exhale, let your knees come toward your chest. Notice how your back is pressed toward the floor here. Inhale, knees back out over your hips. Now here you'll notice that your lower back is slightly arched off the floor. So we're going to begin working the core. So the first thing you want to do is bring your, energize your pelvic floor. Okay, so that is a mesh of muscles between your anus and your genitals. So if you know Kegel exercises, that's just a gentle, it's not a clutching, it's just a gentle grip, as if, we're going to get kind of graphic here, but as if you were trying to stop the flow of urine when you're going to the bathroom. So just gently engage the pelvic floor. That's known as Mula Bandha, energy lock. And then draw your navel in and up, so as if you're hollowing out your abdominal cavity. That's Uddiyana Bandha. Don't worry too much about these terms. And then you're going to strongly bring your navel toward the mat, so as if your lower ribs were moving down toward your pelvis. So the abdominal muscles connect from your low ribs to the pelvis, and so drawing those 2 points together engages your abdominal muscles. There are other ways we talk about that zipping motion, of as if you're tightening, zipping up tight pants. That's engaging your core. So bandhas and core, navel toward the mat, in and up. And then with your feet flexed and pressing firmly into the mat, strong core here, begin to lower your right heel toward the floor, and then your left heel. So just slowly moving, core engaged throughout. Keep breathing, but don't let your lower back come off the floor. Slow movements. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. So using just the muscles needed here. Now try pointing your toes and touching the mat. Now, if effort turns to struggle, if you begin shaking or you are unable to breathe slow, deep, even, just go into a rest posture. So hug your knees into your chest. So go ahead and do that. Hug your knees into your chest if you're not already there, and just rock on your sacrum. So anytime, especially during this core practice, when effort turns to struggle, give yourself permission to come into a rest posture, or back off, or come out of the pose and then come back in. Yoga is not about struggle. You do more harm than good if you go beyond what your body tells you is your limit. Okay, now rock yourself up and come on over to all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers. Press down a little more into the ball mounts of the fingers. Take some weight off your wrists. Press into the knees, the tops of your feet. Neutral spine here, so tabletop. Lengthen out from the crown of your head out through your sit bones. And on an inhale, let your belly drop, chest drop, cow pose. Spread, energetically spread your thighs apart. Open the back of your sacrum. And on an exhale, draw your belly in and up. Drop your chin. So core here, activate. You're bringing your ribs closer to your pelvic bones. And slowly move in and out a few times. Inhaling, spinal extension, spreading your thighs away from each other energetically. Exhale, belly in, up, spinal flexion. Close your eyes. If you get a little more mindfulness into it, if you close your eyes, more connection with your body. Next time you come to an exhale, cat pose, pause here, but keep breathing. So your navel is in and up, tailbone is tucked, front core is engaged. And then on your next exhale, let your hips come back over your heels. Child's pose, any child's pose you want. Can be wide, narrow-legged, arms back by your feet or out in front. Forehead resting on your hands. Just drop into a rest posture as quickly as you can. Just take a few breaths. So in this forward bending posture, your back, you can be more aware of the rib cage expanding in your back body. So breathing into your back heart, the 360-degree expansion of your rib cage. The back rib cage can expand here. It's not on the floor. And on the next inhale, come back up to all fours. And on an exhale, bring your right knee toward your nose. And on an inhale, press your right leg out, parallel to the mat. Flex your foot, reach back. Make sure your core is engaged here. So navel in and up. Take your left hand and put it on your sacrum to make sure your back isn't sinking, that it's nice and flat. So the strength of your abs is keeping your spine in alignment. We're going to take a few breaths just holding right here. If you'd like, You can return your left hand to the mat or take your left hand reaching out in front of you. Come back to your breath. You're holding your core strong here. Still able to breathe. Slow, deep, even. Relax your face. No effort where it's not needed. Come out at any time that effort turns to struggle. And now if your arm's up, bring it back, bring your knee down, come back into child's pose. Rest. Inhale back up, all fours. Make sure your alignment is right. And this time, exhale your left knee into your nose. And then inhale, extend the left leg back, foot is flexed, lengthen out. Take your right hand onto your sacrum. Make sure your hips are level. You can stay right here. Strong core, so navel in and up, keeping your low back from arching here. You can bring your arm out for a balance. Or keep your hand on the mat. So focus here on strong core. Keeping your spine straight. Relax your face. Stay with your breath. And now bring your knee back to the mat. Come back again into child's pose. Just release everything you can as quickly as you can. And now come back up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog, but not to stay. Walk your hands forward about 1 hand length, and then bring your shoulders over your wrists. Inwardly rotate your thighs, strong core here, belly in and up, plank pose. Breathe. Use that core to keep your spine straight as you can. When you start shaking and jiggling, come down to your knees and back into child's pose. Then come back up. We're going to go into plank one more time. So raise your hips up and back into down dog. We're not going to hold the plank this time, but
Plank pose does get all 4 layers of your abdominal muscles. It's a great core strengthening pose. So come forward one more time into plank, and then we're going to lower down. You can either keep your elbows straight by your sides and come down slowly, or lower your knees and lower yourself down, keeping your chest and chin first and then your hips last. So best way for you, come into prone on your belly. Rest your forehead on your hands. Crocodile pose, let your heels fall out and rest. Notice any sensations, notice energy moving around your body. Reconnect with your breath. Now bring your hands next to your shoulders, palms facing down. Press into the tops of your feet. Press into your pelvis, into the mat. We're gonna just raise the upper body here, cobra. So you can gently push into the hands and peel your chest up and forward. Don't think about coming up real high. And then exhale down. So you want to keep the low back safe by tucking your tailbone. So move the tailbone down like you're putting your tail between your legs. And just lift the upper spine in and out a few times. If you want to see, just hover your hands, not having the support of your hands. You can see what that's like. So this is a great way to strengthen the upper back. If you want to hold, you can. But again, effort turns to struggle. Come out. And when you do, rest on one cheek, arms down by your side, palms face up. Breathe. Now bring your hands back under your shoulders, come back up into all fours. Tuck your toes, come back up into downward facing dog. Walk your your feet up between your hands. Come into standing forward bend and just relax into Uttanasana. Legs any way that works for you. Bent a lot, bent a little. Any arms, you can hold on to opposite elbows. Just rest your arms, hands on the floor. If you want to come into a half forward bend, you can put your hands on your shins and lengthen out. So just take a little compensation here. Best way for you. And then press your hands into your shins, come up halfway. And then on an inhale, press into your feet and come all the way up. Strong flat back, hands touch above your head and right down to your heart space. And we will come into a mountain pose. So starting from the foundation, lift and spread your toes, set them back down, press into the big toe mound of your feet back to the inner heels, and then from the little toe mound back to the outer heels. So in that sequence, you're engaging the energetic spirals that are part of the subtle body. So you end up balanced on all four corners of your feet. Engage your quadricep muscles to lengthen. Put your thigh bones over your shin bones, over your ankle bones. Take a little tuck, lengthen out your low back there, and then bring your shoulders up to your ears and back. Nice open chest, broader in the front than in the back. Externally rotate your arms, spread your fingers, reach down toward the floor, shoulders down away from the ears, and lift up from the crown of your head. And then soften anywhere you can, keeping the alignment. Close your eyes if you have the balance. Reconnect with the breath. So mountain pose embodies samasta sthiti, which is equal standing. Everything is in balance and alignment, and all the joints are in neutral, except right now we've got our arms externally rotated, but overall balance in the body with least effort. Now open your eyes, keeping your fingers spread and feet pressing down into the earth. Inhale your arms up, palms touch. Now turn your palms out as you exhale and come back to heart center. One more time like that. Inhale, sun breath. Exhale, sun breath. Now this time, inhale, sun breath. And exhale, palms together right down to the heart space, moon breath. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. Exhale, moon breath. Now do a few more on your own, either combining the sun and moon breath or doing all sun breath. Whatever feels right for you. There is a different energy flow there. At least I'm told that by my teacher. I cannot honestly say that I can feel the difference, but maybe I'm just not focusing enough. You might be able to feel the difference. And the next time your arms go up, interlace your fingers, press the palms of your hands toward the ceiling. Check your feet facing forward. Inhale, lengthen down through your feet, up through your palms. Exhale, side bend to the right. And just stay here and breathe. Pressing a little more into the left foot and out through your palms. If this is not a comfortable hand position, you can separate the hands. You can have one hand down, one hand up, or hands on your hips. So modify to make the pose great for you. It can be a little challenging to breathe in a side bend position. So if it
not feeling comfortable, just come up a little bit. See if that's better. So this is strengthening and stretching the oblique muscles, which are part of the core. The side core, I call it a little bit. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, press into your right foot. Side bend to the left. Continuing breathing into the stretch. Sending the energy there. Exhaling, softening where you can. And then inhale, come back to center, hands down by your side. And come to the front third of your, well, you can be anywhere on your mat for this. Feet hip width apart, half suns with chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, set your hips back, come into chair pose. Exhale, up. Couple more. You can bring your cervical spine in. You can follow your gaze. Follow your hands with your gaze. Now this time, when we come into chair, we're going to hold it. Clarify tucking your tailbone. So as you're lengthening out the low back, bringing your navel toward your spine, core, strong core here. Hold chair pose. You can change your arms any way you like. And breathe. Keeping your core activated. And inhale all the way up. Hands around to Anjali Mudra. And come back to mountain pose for a few breaths. Reconnect with everything. Remember your intention. Soften your face, your jaw, your neck, shoulders just moving down from your ears. Stable, easy. Now open your eyes, turn to face the long edge of your mat, and step your feet wide apart. Toes facing forward. You can put your hands in your hip creases. You're going to forward fold. So take an inhale first. Spread your toes, press down into both feet, lengthen up, and with a tilt in your tailbone, so tailbone tilts up, chest toward the mat, come forward. You can come to a block. Keep your spine straight. And when you've got all the hip flexion you can move your feet out a little bit further. And then you can either round down, keeping the tilt in your tailbone, or you can stay on the block. Put your left hand under your nose, and on an inhale, take your right arm up. So twist here. This is the oblique muscles again, the side core. They laterally bend and rotate the spine. And then exhale, bring your right hand down. Inhale, left arm up.
Left hand down. Take a little micro bend in your knees, hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head, push down into your feet and come up with a strong flat back. So that's using the back core to lift you up, help lift you up. Now keeping your feet wide apart, lift your left heel and turn it back 45 degrees, pivot on your right heel and take your right toes toward the short edge of the mat. I gotta shorten my stance here. So we're going to move into triangle pose, which is an open hip posture. So your shoulders parallel to the long edge of the mat. So lift and spread your toes, press down into both feet. Your back thigh is internally rotating. Your front is externally, leg, not thigh. Spine straight up. Inhale, arms out, shoulder height, fingers spread. Turn to look over your right middle finger. And on an inhale, reach out straight and come back. A few times, just do that as if you're pushing something off a table. And then this time, as you come out, rotate down, let your hand come to your leg or a block. Left arm up, triangle pose. So you're aiming to have the shoulders stacked, the spine is long. So this is another job for the oblique muscles. You don't want to curve down. Your spine is long and straight, and you're not collapsing into whatever the hand is resting on. It's just a little support. So lengthen out through the crown of your head. Your right hip is moving under the body. And on an inhale, let your lifted arm bring you up. Square your feet. And we'll do that on the other side. So this time your right heel pivots back, left toes forward. You might need to adjust your stance on this side. Inhale, arms out, shoulder height. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Press down into both feet. And then a few times inhaling out to the left and back. And then coming down, lightly resting your hand on whatever it's resting, and using your core muscles to keep the spine long and straight. Your gaze here can be up at your hand, straight ahead, down. So there's no right specific gaze here. Drishti. Breathe. And then on an inhale, let your arm bring you up. Heel toe your feet together. And bring some movement, do some movement, a couple of half suns before we come down on our backs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, tailbone up, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Knees bent or straight as much as you like. Inhale all the way up. Hands to the heart. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Halfway down. Okay,
This time we're going to come onto our backs. So inhale up, exhale, fold, bend your knees, plant your hands on the mat, come into downward facing dog. And then inhale your knees to the mat, feet out to the side, come onto your seat, grab a block. Sorry, I should have warned you of that. And come on down to your back. Put the block between your thighs. Knees are bent, feet are hip width apart. Roll your shoulder blades together. Open your chest up here before we move into bridge. And your arms can be by your sides, palms spread, or on your upper arms, so your palms are facing each other. And we're going to use the block between our thighs to help engage the deep core muscles here. So we'll move a few times and then we'll hold. So on an inhale, press into your feet, press into the block, raise your hips. Don't raise them as high as you possibly can. Just raise them. And now as you're holding here, lengthen out, tuck your tailbone. So lengthen out your low back as you're pressing into the block. And then exhale, lower from the top down, slowly. A couple more times moving. Inhale up, pressing the block, lengthen, tucking your tailbone. So that's engaging your core. Exhale down. And this time, choice to hold, pressing, tucking, lengthening out from right out your thighs, out your knees. Or you can keep moving, or you can come into rest. So whichever you're doing, stay with your breath. And relax your face. You don't need to scrunch your face muscles up to do bridge pose. Your glutes, yes. Your leg muscles, yes. Your core. Your upper arm muscles. And when you're ready, come down. And remove the block. Now we're going to move into some windshield wipes and then a twist, supine twist. So your choice, you might want to start your windshield wipes, arms out to the side, palms up, with hip width, and then see if you want to move them further apart. It affects different, some are more for the opening for the hip, some are more for twist in the spine. So whatever let's just all start, hip width apart. Inhale, exhale, pull your belly in, scoop it in and up, and let your knees come over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, pull your belly in, knees to the left. So moving with your breath slowly. You can change the width of your feet. You can bring your cervical spine into the twist, moving your gaze with the knees or in the opposite direction, or just keeping your gaze straight up. It's all about you. So you pick what's right for you today. If it feels good, do it. as you keep your focus on your breath or on your movement, it becomes a meditation. So, moving meditation keeps you right in the moment, and the moment is the only thing that's real. Okay, then the next time your knees come to the floor, doesn't matter which side, just pause there. We're going to hold the twist for about a minute. Modify in any way that makes it the best for you. So do what feels good. Don't do what doesn't feel good. Do breathe slow and deep and even, and release on the exhale. Consciously release. Give your body the signal that it's safe to let go. A support can help give your body that security. And now inhale your knees up. Just press into your feet and tap the back of your sacrum a few times on the mat. And then exhale, pull your belly in, knees to the other side. And twist to this side. Don't forget, your sides are almost assuredly going to be different, especially with the hips. So I'd make any adjustments to make this great for you. If it feels good, you'll be able to relax into it and get much more out of it. Okay, now bring your knees up, and it's time to move toward Shavasana. So if there's any last pose or movement that your body's asking for, maybe a happy baby or a legs up or anything at all, give yourself a minute or so to do that, and then move toward Shavasana. So Shavasana has choices too, as long as it's symmetrical and you're comfortable. So I have any props that help you that you like with Shavasana. And we I kind of stressed today that yoga is not about struggle. And Shavasana is the pose where the goal is really no effort. So it's the supreme example of that. You want to have effort in your asana practice until you get to Shavasana. And then it is no effort. Your body will breathe itself. You are fully supported and safe. You can surrender to the moment. And sometimes that's very difficult to do. So it is a practice. So see how freeing it can be to just have nothing to do, nothing to think about, nothing you have to be trying to do. Just be right in the moment. Now gently bring your awareness back to the space. Begin to move your body in small ways. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Gradually stretching out. Bring your knees to your chest and come on to your favorite side. And just rest here, quickly scanning your body, sensations, emotions, mind. See where you are, see yourself at the end of practice. a strong practice. Core work is kind of challenging. And then push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed, keep your awareness within. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, tall, straight spine. Bring your hands, palms together, thumbs at your sternum, heart space, spiritual heart, and bow lightly. Bow to your efforts today, your willingness to look to your core, strengthen your core, strengthen your physical body, and it's been shown, and I think we all know, that a strong core and physical body allows us to do many more things with ease in our life, which leads to more enjoyment of life and self-confidence. So it's not only a physical strength, but it leads to an inner strength and self-assurance as well. So thank you for taking this time for yourself and coming to yoga practice. I learn as much from doing the practice and making it up as I don't know what you get out of it, but for me, it's very helpful. So I'm learning along with you. And with that said, the light and teacher in me bows to the very same light and teacher in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming, and I hope with the nice weather you're getting out and being physical out in nature. Also, I guess we're more free to do that these days. So thanks for coming, and I will see you back here, I hope, next week. Have a great week. Bye.